This got to be one of the most exciting and tricky adventures of the mischief god that have captured the imagination of Asgard and more. Loki and the Builder. Asgard had a lot of enemies, and they all feared Thor, the superhero of the gods. But when Thor was gone, Asgard was in trouble. So the gods thought they needed to build a big wall for protection. Building it would take years, but then this strong guy shows up, saying he could do it super fast. He wanted to marry the gorgeous goddess Freyja if he did. The gods said, "No way," but sneaky Loki thought it wasn't such a terrible idea. "Listen up, buddies," he said. "He says he can finish this huge wall in just 1 year, which sounds impossible. Let's make a deal. If he can't do it in time, he gets nothing. Since it's unlikely he'll finish, we'll get most of the wall done for free and just have to wrap it up, saving us a lot of work." The gods agreed and told the builder the deal, and he was all in and started building right away. This guy was super strong, tossing stones around easily, and had some magic help to get stones from far away. Time flew, and the wall was going up fast. The deadline was close, and the builder was nearly done. Odin was mad at Loki. "See what you've done? The wall's almost finished. We're going to lose Freyja to this guy, and it's all on you. I knew this guy couldn't finish the wall, and I'll make sure he doesn't." Loki figured out that the builder needed his super strong horse to bring stones for the wall, so he decided to trick the horse by turning himself into a pretty mare to distract it. When he changed, the strong horse couldn't resist and chased after Loki, who ran like the wind, leading the horse far away. Without his horse, the builder couldn't finish the wall on time and got mad at the gods. He ripped his clothes, showing he was actually a giant. He shouted, "Curse you, Asgard gods! You tricksters, you'll pay for this!" Then the giant tried to attack. Thor, known for beating giants, took him down with his hammer. The gods then finished the wall, and Asgard was secure. But Loki, who had run off to escape the horse, was gone for a while. When he came back, he had a strange 8-legged horse with him. This horse, which Loki ended up giving to Odin, turned out to be the best and fastest horse ever. Loki made Odin promise not to ask where this amazing horse named Sleipnir came from. Loki and Sif. Sif, who was married to Thor, the powerful god of thunder, was famous across Asgard for her magnificent long golden hair. It was her most admired feature, especially by Thor, who cherished it above all else. However, one unexpected morning, Thor woke to find Sif completely bald, which left him both shocked and furious. Without hesitation, he blamed Loki, the notorious trickster god, for this misdeed, and his angry voice echoed throughout Asgard, accusing Loki of the unthinkable prank. During the previous night, Loki had indulged in one of his mischievous acts. He sneakily cut off all of Sif's beautiful hair while she was lost in sleep. Thor, enraged by this act, dragged Loki to confront the tearful Sif. Thor exploded in anger at Loki, questioning how he could commit such an act against his wife. He lamented the thought of Sif being bald, and even mocked the idea of covering her head with a hat as a solution. Thor's anger was palpable, and he threatened Loki with severe physical punishment unless he found a way to restore Sif's hair to its former glory. Loki, feeling the weight of Thor's threat, knew he had to act fast to amend his prank. He quickly thought of a plan and set off to Svartalfheim, the realm of the dwarves known for their unparalleled craftsmanship. Loki was convinced that the dwarves could craft something to remedy the situation. But first, he needed to convince them to help. He approached the sons of Ivaldi, master craftsmen, with a clever ruse. Loki fabricated a story about a competition among the gods to find the best craftsmen, insinuating that the brothers Brock and Atri doubted the sons of Ivaldi's skills. Loki's plan was to stir up their competitive spirit, hoping it would lead them to craft a solution for Sif's lost hair. Loki was shocked by the challenge but agreed under one condition. They had to make 3 special gifts for the gods, including a set of long golden hair that would grow forever. Next, Loki went to stir up Brock and Eitri by telling them about a supposed competition. He said that the gods were holding a contest to see who were the best craftsmen, and that the sons of Ivaldi doubted Brock and Eitri's skills, calling them clumsy. Brock and Eitri were not amused, calling the insult typical of the sons of Ivaldi. They felt they had nothing to prove since they were already known as superior craftsmen. Loki, trying to provoke them further, claimed they couldn't outdo the legendary craftsmanship of Aldous' sons, even betting his own head on it. The prospect of winning Loki's head as a prize intrigued Brock and Eitri, so they accepted the challenge. Despite feeling nervous, Loki stood his ground, agreeing to the terms. He was aware that Brock and Eitri had more skill than the sons of Ivaldi, but now he needed to be clever to get out of this tricky situation he had created. The Great Clash. Loki found himself in a tight spot needing to get golden hair for goddess Sif. he stirred up a competition between two dwarf families to determine the best craftsman, with Asgard's gods, Odin, Thor, and Frey, as judges. Loki's own head was on the line due to a wager with Brock and Eitri. The sons of Ivaldi set to work on their gifts, and everything seemed to be going smoothly. However, Loki saw that Brock and Eitri were creating something extraordinary. Realizing the stakes, he watched as they made two amazing gifts and were on their way to finishing a third, a potent hammer. For it to be perfect, the forge's temperature had to be just right, and Brock was meticulously managing it. Loki quickly transformed into a large, blood-sucking mosquito and targeted Brock, first stinging his hand. Despite the pain, Brock kept working. Loki then stung his neck, causing more pain, but Brock persisted. Finally, Loki aimed for the eyes, causing Brock such agony that he had to stop, which resulted in the hammer's handle being flawed. Satisfied, Loki left, thinking he had sabotaged their efforts. When the time came to present the gifts, the sons of Ivaldi showcased theirs. Sif received new golden hair, restoring her beauty, which gave Loki some comfort. Odin received a spear that could pierce anything and make oaths unbreakable. Frey got a massive boat that could fold to fit in a pocket, all of which were stunningly impressive gifts, easing Loki's worries. Brock and Eitri presented their creations, starting with Eitri, who still showed signs of Loki's mischief with swollen eyes. They offered Odin bracelets made from Draupnir gold, a special material that magically produced new bracelets every 8 nights. This gift could be used for decoration or to increase Odin's wealth. Frey received a large boar with a golden coat, capable of flying without ever growing weary, its brilliance lighting up the dark. Then it was Thor's turn to receive his gift, a hammer. Thor noticed the hammer's handle was unusually short and expressed his concern. Eitri explained that the hammer, named Mjolnir, was extraordinarily powerful despite the short handle. It was unbreakable, always hit its mark, and would return to Thor after being thrown. Thor was impressed, realizing that with Mjolnir, he could defeat any giant. Odin, Thor, and Frey all agreed that Mjolnir was the best gift. However, Loki's scheme had failed, and now Brock and Eitri were claiming Loki's head as their prize. Brock prepared to collect, sharpening his axe. Loki, ever the trickster, argued that his head could be taken without harming his neck, as per their bet. Brock found himself in a dilemma, unable to claim Loki's head without breaking the terms. Odin remarked on the importance of careful listening, especially when dealing with someone as sly as Loki. As a compromise, Brock decided to sew Loki's mouth shut to prevent any further deceit, sparing his life but ensuring his silence for a time. Despite Loki's escape from losing his head, the gods of Asgard were left with incredible gifts. The wedding dress. Thor, the powerful god of thunder, found himself without his treasured hammer Mjolnir one morning, a situation resulting from one of Loki's tricks. Mjolnir was key to Thor's role in protecting Asgard from various dangers. In place of the hammer, Thor discovered a note stating that to get Mjolnir back, he needed to come and negotiate with Thrym, who demanded a significant ransom for its return. The note was signed by Thrym, indicating where Thor should go. Knowing he needed the best negotiator, Thor turned to Loki, famous for his cunning. Loki headed to Thrym's stronghold in Jotunheim, the land of giants, to talk terms. Upon meeting Thrym, Loki was greeted with comments on his appearance, suggesting Thrym's vision was failing, given Loki looked nothing like the muscular Thor. After their discussion, Loki returned to Asgard to relay Thrym's terms to the gods. Thrym would only return the hammer if Freyja, known for her unmatched beauty, was given to him as his bride. The gods were appalled by Thrym's demand, but they also knew that without Mjolnir, Thor couldn't protect Asgard, putting them in a difficult position. Loki came up with a pretty wild plan. He suggested Thor dress up in a wedding gown. Understandably, Thor was furious at the idea, but Loki urged him to just go with it for now, promising to explain his plan later. Given Thrym's poor eyesight, Loki's scheme was to sneak Thor into Thrym's palace disguised as Freyja. So Thor, having no better option, dressed as a bride, and Loki dressed as Freyja's servant. They made their way to Jotunheim, where they were welcomed warmly. "Happy to have you here. I've thrown a feast to celebrate," said Thrym, clearly not seeing well enough to distinguish Thor from a real goddess. Thor, not exactly maintaining the guise of a delicate bride, started eating everything in sight at the banquet. Thrym was shocked by his bride's appetite, commenting on how he'd never seen a goddess eat so much. Loki quickly covered for Thor, suggesting the goddess was eager to move past the banquet to the wedding night. Thor shot Loki a furious glance, not amused by the joke. "Time to bring out the hammer so we can wrap this up," said Loki, prompting the hammer to be brought to Thor. As soon as Thor got his hands on Mjolnir, he dropped the act and went into action, taking out Thrym's men and Thrym himself with a blow to the head. "Let's get out of here. I'm done with this dress," Thor said, eager to leave. Loki, ever the joker, quipped about widow's attire. With Thor and Mjolnir back in Asgard, the realm was safe once more. And the story of Thor's bridal disguise became a favorite tale among the gods, always good for a laugh at the Valhalla feasts. Thanks for exploring the incredible myths of Loki with us. If you loved these tales of trickery and transformation, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more mythological adventures. See you in the next video.